Okay, hello everybody, it's Laura with Jot and Tittle Vintage Typewriters. Hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for watching my videos. Today we're going to look at an Olivetti-Underwood 21, and it has been several years since we've seen one of these, so it is definitely time for a new video on it. This particular one is in fantastic condition. I mean, there's not a scratch on it, and it types really well. Let me show you the typing page, the typing sample page I did. Can you see that? I can't see if it's in focus or not, so I hope it is. Anyway, that's the typing page, but I will type on it here in a little bit. I just wanted to kind of give my overview on this. One, as you all know, I have really tiny hands, but I really was able to type on this quite well. And to be honest, I really enjoyed using this typewriter. Now, it is big. It's barely, I would say you're barely able to call it portable. It's huge. And that is probably, I love the function and the performance on this typewriter, but I don't like how big and heavy it is. So if you get one of these, this is going to be one of those that it needs to kind of have like that permanent space for it. Unless you just like schlepping heavy typewriters around. So that is my personal opinion on that one. But really, if I had to choose between this Olivetti-Underwood 21 and like an SM series by Olympia, I would probably choose this. It has that same really smooth, velvety feel in the carriage, but it's much easier to type for me personally, in my personal opinion. But it also looks completely different. So it's really up to your personality and what you like. Like, I love that the SM typewriters from Olympia, they're smaller. They have a much more rounded look and feel to it. They have prettier colors. This is much more rigid in its design and it's bigger. But performance, I thought, is a little bit better, in my opinion. Okay, so all that to say is you probably want to know how this works. So because this is a tutorial instructional video. So let's get started. All right, so back here you find your margins. And on this one, it's just, so smooth. Just so easy to move those margins. Here's your paper holder. It's always in a little awkward position. I kind of like it when it's behind there, but that's where it is on this one. Your carriage release on the right and on the left. The bell on this particular one is super faint, so you probably can't even hear it. But this is a nice smooth carriage. I like it. It's a heavy carriage, and maybe that's why it's kind of smooth. Over here on the left side, you'll see your adjuster for the line selector. Also, this one, the handle folds because the case on this is, it's not a lot of extra space. It fits right around the typewriter. So the nice thing about this being a bigger typewriter, the case really, they have it as streamlined as they can get it to fit around the typewriter if yours comes with your case. So just make sure you fold your handle over before you use it, and if you're going to store it in the case, fold it there back. Now, I haven't talked about our typewriter covers in a long time. Mom's coming out for a visit. I may have to do an interview with her. She was sick last year, and so we really haven't had any new covers in a long time. But our covers will not fit a 21 because the 21 has a much larger, longer body. So if you are going to purchase a typewriter cover, please be aware that this body size is unusual. And most general typewriter covers will not fit this. You will have to get one that is specifically made for the Olivetti-Underwood 21. Okay. Over here on the right side is your paper release, and we'll see that here in a moment. I'm going to go ahead and slide the carriage over, and we're going to open up the top. The spools are different on this one. So these do not use a universal ribbon. So just keep that in mind. If yours is missing spools, you will probably have to search or reach out to different typewriter shops to see if they happen to have spools that will fit the Olivetti-Underwood 21. We do not, so we do not carry extra parts. These are ones where you have to screw the tops. So, and you know, make sure you don't lose these pieces. So you unscrew it before you take off the spool. Actually, this looks like you might be able, I'm looking at this, you might be able to use a universal on it. It would probably be a little weird, but you could probably try it. Make sure you don't make sure you don't turn these too tight, or else your spool won't turn and then your ribbon won't move. So there's like a sweet spot, and each typewriter is different, and you'll probably have to work a little bit with your typewriter to figure out where that sweet spot is. So same thing with the other side. You have to undo the top, and then make sure you don't put it on too tight. But too loose also is a problem. Now, when you're in here, this is your typing basket. These are your type bars. Here is your ribbon reversal. Doesn't matter which side, okay? Because when you get to the end of the ribbon on your spool, it's not the end of the ink. You can go back and forth many times before you use up all of that ink. Now, some ribbons come with a grommet on them. It's a little metal hole-like thing, or I think there's some different shapes on it. But your ribbon has to have a grommet on it in order to auto reverse your ribbon. So if your ribbon does not, which ours do not have grommets, so you will need to manually reverse your typewriter. But it's, even if you do have grommets on your ribbons, it's always good to know how to manually reverse the direction of your ribbon. So right now it's going this way. Oops. Then if I switch it, it'll go this way. Okay. All right, so we're gonna snap this back. So this has a groove right here on each side. And what that is, it's gonna go underneath. There's a metal kind of piece that looks like it's upside down curve. You gotta fit it there and then pop it down. Make sure it's popped all the way down. And there you go. Okay, let's load a piece of paper. To load the paper, it's going to go between these two blue metal pieces. You just set it there, turn the handle, make sure it goes underneath this metal bar. And I know most of you have the basics of typewriters down, and thanks for your patience. But there are a lot of people out there who don't know, you know, the first thing about a typewriter. So I try to cover, when I do these instructional videos, talk about it in a way for those that had never even touched a typewriter before, can at least make it through and get started. So there you go. It's loaded. If it's not even, then you want to pull this paper release forward. You can adjust your paper, making sure it's nice and even, and then make sure you close your paper release. All right, so then you can type. I really like this typewriter. Okay. And then you have your return handle. So takes you not only to the next line, but it takes you to the beginning of the line. And on the left side, I mentioned the colors, the line selector. You have single line, double, triple. Oh, what is that? That's like 4 or 5 lines. I'm not sure what that is. And then this one is nothing. It just, it kind of locks actually it releases the carriage. There we go. So this is like for a variable spacing. So what I mean by that, let me take it out. When you turn the handle, you hear that clicking. Clicks every half of a line, but sometimes you want to go like in between that. So go up to variable spacing, and you can line things up exactly the way you want and re-engage. And great for like superscript or subscript or something like that. Okay, down here you have This blank key is your margin release. The arrow key is a backspace. Remember, backspace does not erase. You just backspace. You will make mistakes when typing, and that is okay. Just part of typing. You can X through it. You can do a dash through it. You can just, you know, go through, do a line through the whole word and retype the word, you know, however you want to do that. This little lever here is your tab, set, and clear. And this is your actual tab key. All right, so we're going to clear that one. Let's see if... it didn't clear it. There, let's see if it'll clear it there. There, it cleared it. So that might have been the all clear where you hold it down and hit tab. Is probably the all clear. And then if you want to set, let's say it's set in the middle. We're going to set it, and that's your set, okay? So, and then margin release, so let's say you're typing and get to the end, and you're in the middle of a word and it stops on you because you're at the end of your margin. So you just hit margin release, finish your word, and then go back to the next line. Also right here is your color selector. Right now it's on black. The dot is actually blue, but it's black. And red is at the bottom. The white in the middle is stencil setting. You will probably never use that. If your typewriter, if you bump that and it's on the white, it's not gonna do anything. It's gonna look, oops. It's gonna look like super, super faint. It's really not touching the paper, and you're gonna be like, what's wrong? What's wrong? You have it on the stencil setting. So you need to make sure it's on the black or the red, and then you can start typing again. So when you are typing, if it starts to feel weird, or you see this the ribbon getting tight, or your font is getting faint, or it's just not working quite right, stop. To do two things: reverse the direction of your ribbon, which you should be able to do it right. Yeah, here it is. You just do it right here, or double check your color selector. And 9 times out of 10, that fixes the problem. All right, thanks so much for watching this tutorial video. You all have a blessed day.